What's going on, everybody? This is Club 50 Sports. We are back. It's your boy A Dub. I'm here with my man Manny C. Talk to him. Let's go. We got some news that we're gonna get into. What you got to say, Manny?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I'm hoping everybody is having a good weekend. Yes, we do have some good news. We have some breaking news. Breaking is going to change the landscape of the AFC, and we are looking forward to this season. And at least the people from Houston will be looking at a new player in a Texans uniform. Mr. Wilson, let's
Going
go.
it going into that. Stefon Diggs is moving residency. He will no longer be residing in Orchard Park, Buffalo. He will now be heading down to the Lone Star State and joining C.J. Stroud and the youthful Houston Texans. What do you got to say about that? What do you think?
I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked because I thought that Josh Allen and Stefan Diggs made amends um, this past season. I thought that everything was squashed, but it didn't look that it was squashed. I was very surprised when I heard the news because man, like you just let Gabe Davis walk away in free agency to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then you trade away your Pro Bowl wide receiver. For me, that was like a big scratch off. For me, when I think for me everything went south, it was that loss to the Bengals 2 years ago when the Bengals went to Orchard Park, New York, and they did a demolition job on the Bills. It was 27-10. Stefan Diggs had four receptions for 35 yards, and that is what I think where everything went south. I think he thought that they didn't get him the ball that day because it shows four receptions, Allen for 35 yards. You know, Allen did throw for 254 yards, and only Stefan Diggs accounted for only 34 of those yards. I find that very weird. Fast. I mean, the guy got 1,400 yards in 2022, which is not bad. Then last year he had another decent year,
He
and I
had
don't know
11.
what happened.
He had 1183 last year. It's
Yeah,
not horrible. He still had over 100 receptions, 107 receptions last year. It's not too shabby. You know what I mean? It's not too shabby for a 9 year veteran. That's not too shabby.
it's not too shabby. But again, Adam, I don't know how Brandon Bean, the general manager of the Bills, took this drastic step. And I know he had to go to Josh Allen to get the approval of him getting traded because he is the franchise quarterback. He is. But I just think by Josh Allen approving this trade, it's going to really hurt his productivity this upcoming fall. I think he's
But
going to take a nosedive when you lose Stefan Diggs, you lose Gabe Davis, and I don't think Josh Allen will have a great season like he's supposed to. The
but
one man that I'm going to say will benefit from this little gift going to Houston is a guy by the name of CJ Stroud, who, by the way, had
absolutely.
a great rookie campaign. And by him adding this piece to the puzzle, that along with Joe Mixon will elevate the offense for this people, for this team going forward. And the Bills took a step backwards, in my opinion. What do you think?
I'll say this with regards to Josh Allen being the guy to approve or not approve a trade. At the end of the day, you're not going to keep somebody there who doesn't want to be there. So
Right.
far be it from Josh Allen to be like, no, keep Stefon Diggs here with me if Stefon Diggs doesn't want to be there. Ultimately, you are just prolonging a inevitable breakup, a blow up between the two. So I don't think that any player, if I had control of somebody else's destiny or where they wanted to be or whether or not they can leave and go, I wouldn't exercise that. That I would leave that completely in Stefon Diggs' hands. If he wants to be here, then keep him here. If he doesn't want to be here, far be it from me to be the guy who says no. I'm the franchise quarterback. He needs to stay here. Stefon Diggs is his own man. They had some really good times together. He had four 100-yard receive. I'm sorry, 400 reception receiving years there. Had over 1,183 yards in all four of those seasons. He had a 1,500-yard season. He had a 1,400-yard season. But I think that Stefon Diggs just kind of felt the same way that most people looking at the Buffalo Bills have been feeling, like that window is just closing. You know, that window, it looked a football field wide, 4 years ago when he first joined the Buffalo Bills. And as time has gone by, injuries have occurred, free agency, people coming and people going. It seems like the Buffalo Bills window of opportunity has slowly began to diminish. Not to mention the emergence of a number 15 in Kansas City who has shut the door on many people or many teams over the
Yeah,
past. You know what I mean? So at this point, if you could have caught Patrick Mahomes maybe before he caught his stride as being maybe one of the best quarterbacks this game has ever seen, maybe that was your window of opportunity. But now this kid's got his legs under him. He's feeling good about himself. He's got that football IQ. He's got the experience, the pedigree of being a champion. And now Stefon Diggs is probably just looking like we're not beating those guys. You know what I mean? We've had teams that look like they could beat them, and we still can't beat them. They had no wide receivers last year, and the guy still ends up winning the Super Bowl championship. So I think that that's where Stefon Diggs was. I don't think that Josh Allen, even if he could keep him there, would have kept him there. I know I wouldn't. If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to be there. But I agree with your point. The window for the Texans is looking very large right now. They've got a really strong running back in Joe Mixon. They've got a great wide receiver core, not to mention a great defense backing all of that up, and great coaching with D'Amico Ryan. So the Houston Texans are they're trending upwards. If this was the stock market, it's something that I would definitely say buy, buy, buy at this point. Buy
yeah, we're
in,
gonna
buy
have
in, buy in.
it's true. It's true. I'm buying that stock all day, every day. Um, we will discuss division winners, eventually in this show. But I think they are. You when you just add those two little pieces there on your offense, it just makes you the favorite to win your division. That's just plain and simple. Like, and then let's not
Oh,
say they
oh,
added
oh, 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 a weak division at that. Let's
a weak division. And let's not forget that they also added Hunter, that kid from Minnesota, who had like 10 sacks last year.
Danielle Hunter. Yeah.
And they just have bolstered that team all around. Like in just one year, like in a span of almost 2 years, they are going to contend this year. I mean, I think they are. I think, but
And
again,
and am
as
I
we get,
mistake? Am I mistaken? That division is what the Jaguars, the Titans, and the Colts, right?
that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take
In my
that.
opinion, and in my opinion, right now, I gotta say this. I just gotta say this. CJ Stroud is the best quarterback right now on that division. I have
Yep.
to say it. I have to
I agree.
say it like
Based
that
on the 1 year that we've seen, I can go with that. I can go with that.
because I think Trevor Lawrence has regressed. I think he took a little step backwards, a small step backwards, but I haven't seen Trevor Lawrence take that next step to becoming great. And mind you, he had Calvin Ridley last year. He had Christian Kirk, and that still didn't help.
We have never seen Trevor Lawrence play the way CJ Stroud played, and he's had multiple years to do that in. We've made Trevor Lawrence this, second coming of Joe Burrow or whoever you want to talk about, Peyton Manning, whatever. He just hasn't shown it to us yet. And I understand that maybe the pieces around him, maybe with the Urban Meyer thing didn't help and all of that, but we still got to see it on the football field. And I know Bryce Young is probably looking like, man, why didn't Carolina pick C.J. Stroud and leave, and leave me for the
No,
Texans, man? You know, it's
it's
rough.
it's it's you know what happened, Adam? The thing is that people started to really be on the Lawrence bandwagon after that Chargers debacle that they had,
Yes.
where they blew a
Uh,
27-point lead, my friend.
Mr. Brandon Staley.
Mr. Brandon Staley, we all know who he is. We all know who he is. And guess what? This dude, he slice and dice that defense, and guess what? He's the next coming of Peyton Manning. That is where I think Adam he was going to take off. The next step. You know why he's going to take off? We didn't see that this past year.
Nope.
And eventually in this show, we're going to talk about division winners. We're going to predict. We're going to do all of that. But as of today,
We were
adding
talking about
Stefan Diggs,
Stefon Diggs.
Stefan Diggs is the man. He is the man today, and he will elevate the Texans to, for sure, I'm going to say, a divisional round game this
Absolutely.
upcoming season, because they're going to host, of course, they're going to win the division. They're going to host a playoff game, and guess what? Divisional round, here we come. This is
Oh
where I
yeah.
think we're going to see the cards, what
No,
Stefan Diggs is made about,
and I
and
and I
Stroud.
think Diggs is going to work better with Stroud just because Stroud doesn't use his legs to run. Stroud uses his legs to allow his receivers to get extra time to get open, and I think that that's what Diggs wanted more than anything. He didn't want a quarterback who was constantly trying to run. He wanted a quarterback who used his legs to free him up, to get him open, to give him a little bit more time to beat his coverage. And next thing you know, while you're trying to beat your coverage, there goes number 17 running down the middle of the field. So I think C.J. Stroud and Diggs will be a really nice fit. Fantasy football enthusiasts, be on the lookout.
Yes, guys, we will have a fantasy segment this upcoming fall. We got here our fantasy expert here, Adam. Adam, been dealing with him for 30 years, and we're gonna be here in the fall talking about fantasy football and who you guys should start on your fantasy lineup.
Yes, we
So
will.
other than that, this is it for tonight. You know, good night, everybody, and we'll see you all next week. God's willing.